Hi guys, lockdown 6.0. We just got the next customer's table and chairs in yesterday, so pretty lucky that, you know, the next 7 days I've got something to work on and we're not holding the queue up for all you lovely people waiting out there. So we've got 6 chairs. Pretty sturdy. I have taken the bases off. So we're going to sand all these back down to raw. One of them on the bottom already has white on, so it's already been painted white. Oh, I don't know if you can see, it's already been painted white. Somebody started, decided they weren't going to finish, but they have used the right undercoat because it's pretty hard to get off, but the sander will get that. So with these chairs, when I take them off, they're a little bit rickety. So we have 4 screws on the bottom that hold the base on. So I've taken the 4 screws out, but also there's another 2, 4, 6, there's another 8 screws in there. So I'll just go around all of those screws and I'll tighten them all up so that the chair's even more sturdy before I paint. And then obviously when you paint, the paint gets in the cracks and that glues it together as well. So they're going to come up pretty well, and they're a bit weathered. There's a few scratches in there I need to sand out, but overall they're not in bad condition as for upcycling anyway. They don't look very good, but once I'm finished with them, they look great. We have a table, so I'm going to take you over to the table and I'm going to flip you around and explain the table. Yeah, so this is the table. It's an extendable. It's got a beautiful base on there, so that's going to come up lovely. The customer wants it in black and lime wash tops, which I've done most of his furniture for already. There's 3 screws, Allen key screws there. I'm going to take them out on both sides, and I'm actually going to lift the top off because I think it'll be easier to paint all the rest of this base black with that top off. And I'll put that top on a table once it's all sanded, and I'll work on it on a table in the garage. So I've already had a look at this. I'll lift this up. So this is the middle section, so I'm going to take these off, these flaps, because they sit in place when it's extended. They'll be painted black. I'm going to take 2 screws out of each side there, so that'll be 4 screws, and this middle section here in front of me will lift out. Then I'm going to do the 3 screws here, 3 screws here, and I'm going to lift that section out. So the middle section is coming out, and that's because I want to get into here on the side of the table and the sides of the extension as well. I want to sand these back if I can, and I want to put the lime wash and the varnish on there too. It's very, very hard sliding in and out, so inside here it's very, very rough, really rough. I don't think the extended table has had much time in and out, and you can see all the rough glue. So I'm gonna sand in here as well. I'm gonna try and get it to slide in and out a lot better when it's done. So, and we've already done this side of the table. I tried on 100 grit, didn't seem to budge much. So I've gone down to 80, which means then I've got to go to 100. Then 120, then 240, but that's okay, there's an extra sandpaper in there, but it's quicker doing that to get the varnish off. So I'm going to show you now how we're going to varnish, sorry, not varnish, take the varnish off this side. There are some scratches I've got to get out, and you know, you look at those and think, oh my god, I'm not taking that table, but we just sand them out. So as long as it's not too deep, it'll come out. So I'm going to set up another video and then you'll see me sanding. We've got to get them out. So as you can see, those scratches have gone, and as you sand, you'll see the other scratches and dents come up. But again, if you feel that they're not dented in, it's just superficial. So there's another one, there's one there. So we'll just keep going. We'll take all of those out and we'll finish the table. Then we'll strip the inside out. Then we'll strip this off. Yeah, and then we'll be ready on to stain, hopefully. Hi guys, back again. These are the seats off the chairs. So we started off with an 80 grit. We got the varnish off, we got the stain off. Then we're down to bare wood, then we went to 100 grit. Then we went to 120, 240. And we've given it a wipe. And now we're going to put some lime and white on. We're in lockdown, 6.0. Bunnings is shut. I have got no gloves left. These are an old pair. Oh, let's just see if we can manage. Lime and white nearly out. I've had to put a little bit of mineral terps in to get the lumps out. So I'm desperate for a trip to Bunnings. So all I do is use an old cloth and I rub it in. It tells you on the tin to use a brush. But look, I just like using cloth and rubbing it in. And you can see it's starting to change colour. All the other sides used. We've got a bit of time to work this. And only do a couple of coats. Make sure we don't run out. It's going in really nice. takes the orange out of the pine. I normally do a couple because the customers like it, that nice whitey look, like a beach. And when you're doing a couple of different pieces and they're all different woods, you're better off doing 2 coats because it goes more white and the woods tend to blend in better when they're paired up. Like different woods in the same room, same process, but the more coats you give it, the more they look like each other. So I just keep doing this until we get rid of all the streaks now. Just keep rubbing, it's now starting to dry. So this is the first coat on these chairs, and I do 1 coat, then I'll do the next coat tomorrow. I give it 24 hours to dry. And you know it's dry, because if you don't give it 24 hours, you start putting another coat in, it just lifts off the old one because it's not dried in. So you're best off leaving it 24 hours and be patient. And I've just got this sitting on a can of paint, which I use just to turn. Now, when it's nearly finished, smooth side, and I just keep going with the grain. I'm desperate to get the bunnings. I hope that it's doing click and collect, but they're not looking too good. I think there was quite a few cases yesterday, and they were all in the community, and that's what they don't want. They were in the community and they had COVID, and they passed it on to loads of people. I mean, obviously they didn't do it on purpose. Nobody does, but it's not good for us being in lockdown. We're probably most likely going to extend it. So that's coming up rather nice. I'll tilt it in a second. Just make sure the sides are nice. And the back as well, because the back, you're going to see the back, because it's going to sit on the back of the chair. That's come up rather nice. Pleased with that for the first coat. Make sure there's no streaks anyway. See, this is nearly dry now, and there's no streaks, no nothing. You just got to be patient with the application and take your time and just keep working it. And as I say, these are going to get a double line wash. You'll get another one tomorrow. Just make sure you get around those corners. And the ends, you've got to really rub the ends because they're hungry. Sides are okay, you'll tell with the grin. It'll look like this is the end. They're pretty hungry. Getting it in there. Yeah, so that's looking good. I'll just tip it over. Coat number 1. That's going to dry now for 24 hours. We've got 6 more to do. Hi guys, I'm going to be scuff sanding these today. It doesn't take long, but there's a few steps that we do in the process. So I start by turning it on its back and I tighten the screws up. So there's 2 screws here, flip it, 2 screws here, flip it, 2 screws here, flip it, 2 screws here. So I've already tightened it up, and it's actually quite sturdy now compared to what it was like before, and that's just tightening those screws up. And this is already, somebody's already tried to paint it, but look at this, it's just flaking straight off there. Not too bad there, but you know, you've got areas where, like here, it's just coming straight off. So I don't know what maybe they've used chalk paint, I don't know, but that'll sand straight off. So I'm going to go in with a sander. I'm going to start sanding, and then we're going to clean it with Dixie Belle White Lightning. I already have it here. It's a cleaner which I haven't used before, and I'm going to give it a go. Thank you very much to Rustic Farmhouse Charm. They sent me a free little sachet, and yeah, I'm going to try it. I've been putting off using it because I had a lot of terps when I clean with, turpentine. But yeah, I'm going to give this a go today, so we'll see that in a minute. It's supposed to take all of the degreaser, dust and everything off then, gives it a good clean before you put your paint on. So I'm going to give that a go today. So let's get going. trying to do is take scratches out. So where it's almost down to bare wood, there's been a scratch, and that's smooth now. You can still see where the dents are, but it's smooth, so I don't have to go right down to the wood. I just got to get it smooth enough so we get a good finish. And this is one that hasn't been done, so you'll see there's a little bit of a dent where and scratch down the side, bottoms. Sometimes you get the chips down here, so I just give a good sand near the corners, especially the tops here. You see the scratch? So I'll go in there and I'll take all of them off. See, scratches and bits, and yeah, but look, it's in good condition. So this one's ready to go. I'm just going to clean that with Dixie Belle White Lightning. And then what we do is we get a damp cloth that's just got water on it, and we get all the residue off and we let them dry. And it's sunny today, so it's going to go out in the sun and dry. I might get a coat of undercoat on there today, but yeah, that's how we prep a chair up. So that's all prepped. 1 down, 5 to go. Hi guys, back again. So we've got the Dixie Belle White Lightning cleaner. 1 teaspoon, it's about, I think it's about $6 for a pot. God knows how many of these it'll do, maybe about 40, because you only need a teaspoon in something like this. This is only a 300ml, but I've got a sample to do 250ml. And here we go. So we just, kind of just spray it on. And there's the greases, takes everything off. So get where I can. Let's hope I've got enough to do all the chairs. Now you're supposed to wear gloves. Guess what? I ran out. Guess what? We're in lockdown. Oh, no joke. The Taubmans. I'll have to see if we can do a click and collect. Hopefully we can do a click and collect. Okay, so let's take this off. So as it builds up on the cloth, I should be able to, the cloth will get wet. I should be able to get around everything else. And the other chairs. I can't put them on sides anymore because there's a lot of dust on the ground. I don't know the vacuum on, but never mind. And it says don't let it cool, so I'm going to make sure we don't cool it. Bits on there. Okay, Buzz. I had the vacuum going on this. Easier. Getting all the locks off, all the grease, whatever else is on there. Look. Years and years of build up. Right now it says do not leave any of this chemical on there, so this is just cloth and water, and now we wipe everything off. I normally count all, when I go around things like this I'll count, so I'll get around 4 sides of the legs in case I miss one. So for this legs, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I always count when I paint 1, 2, 3, 4 on my legs, so I don't miss a side. Especially when you're on your 3rd coat or 2nd coat, you just don't want to miss the place. this is just water, and you see it's still lifting stuff off. Just trying to get all that chemical residue off now. So what I do with this now is I want it to dry before I put any paint on, so the sun's out. I'm just going to put it on the decking over there and let it dry. And I've got now another 5 chairs to go. So hopefully a couple hours in the sun, that'll dry. We might get some prep paint on there today. It needs 2 coats. I won't get 2 coats on there, there's just no way. There isn't enough hours in the day. Right, so there it is. So what you've seen me doing is I've been trying to take out, you can just see the remnants of the scratches there. So that's like pretty smooth now. Smooth enough to paint. Here we are, we're nearly at the end. Table's finished. That came up really nice, and I'm on the completion stage of the chairs. We took the base off, as you remember. That's the base, and this is what we've done. So you saw the lime wash. What's on here is about 8-9 coats of Feast Watson wipe-on polyurethane. If you go through my previous videos, you'll see me adding this to some bedside cabinets if you want to see the process. So now that it's had all of its coats, just 600 grit silicon carbide paper, and this is a well-used one. The more used the better, because this is where you just very lightly, we're just going to go around it now, just in case there's any of them tiny minute bumps. And that's really nice and smooth. Just feel with your fingers. And then I'm just going to quickly, very lightly, I'm not pressing on, I'm just going light. I just want to get them as smooth as possible. Yeah. It's cold today. I don't think we're going to have a decent day. Looks like it's overcast, and we've gone into lockdown extended. So first of all it was a week, and it went to 2 weeks. Now they've extended it another week. I've got homeschooling's got to start in a minute. So my son's just getting ready to get his computer and everything out, and off we go again. Another week of homeschooling. I just feel with my hand, and I just go, and I want it nice and smooth. So out of all the chairs, this one had a little bit of damage. So on the where you sit, there was about 1 centimetre notch that was out of there, and it was about 1 centimetre deep. So I went and I put a very minute tack right in the middle, and that's so when the wood putty went in, it would have something to grip onto, so it just helps it stay there a bit longer if you put a bit of tack in, a little tack, and then you fill it up. And then I waited a couple of days for it to dry completely because it was a deep hole. And then as you sand, it actually takes on the contour, so it came up really nice. Nice little repair. All the other chairs were just superficial, little scratches and things. So remember I was telling you about the white on satin poly? Well, I've been using a lot of disposable gloves as well, and these ones are the Samba, but the barbecue gloves. So they tell you for cleaning the barbecue and cooking with the barbecue. But they don't tell you that they're chemical resistant. But if you have a look, it says the nitrile gloves, certified food grade, tough nitrile design. So if you've ever worked for a cleaning company before and bought supplies in, you get nitrile gloves because nitrile is chemical resistant. So I've been using these gloves. My husband picked them up. He didn't pick the cheap ones up, he picked them up by accident. And I haven't gone back since. So I always pick these up. You get a pack of 50, obviously 25 goes. But as you see, I'll use them 4 or 5 times. I only stop using them when I pull them off and I rip them, which that one's ripped. So I pulled that one off and ripped it. But I have been using these gloves. I ran out for putting 8, 9 coats on these chairs, and I just took them off, blow them up and put them to dry. So I use them a few times, they're great. But you know, use what you want. When I've used the other ones that you get in the shops, the disposable gloves, I found that when I do the lime and white, it rips and I end up with paint and God knows what all over my fingers. So back to the chair. The next stage I do is I've got this furniture wax clear, Aussie brand. Just got it off eBay. It's brilliant. It's about 30 with postage, $31, $32. But I've been using this for about 6 months now, and it's only got a little dent in. It just lasts. This will probably last me 7, 8 years, and I use it all the time. So once the chair's finished, I get a soft cloth, and I just give it a nice protection with this wax. So back in the day, you'd see your grands and everybody polishing their furniture. They wouldn't just clean the furniture, they'd use a polish. You don't see much of that now. You don't see much furniture polish in the shops. We've just got a bit lazy with the furniture. So the reason I like putting this on is because it waterproofs the piece more. So you know, you've got an added 6 months of protection on your tops. Anything that you've sanded down and coated, it repels water. You see the water coming on top of this, and it bubbles and runs off. It's great. So you just get that added protection on your piece. You know, got your customer coming back soon and dropped hot coffee on it, and I mean, obviously hot coffee will take the wax off, but it'll still protect this from staining. So I'll just finish this off. So I'll put this on, and then I just leave it a few seconds. It dries. Put the lid back on here. So this is just going to dry for a couple of seconds, and then we just buff it off. So here we go. Hay fever's starting up. Oh. And then you go out, you know, you're sneezing and people think you've got COVID when you haven't, you just got the hay fever sneezes. It's going to be interesting this summer. When I was going out this year with hay fever, sorry, beginning of last year, it was every time I sneezed I'd say hay fever. And you don't get people looking at you in the shop, you must think I'm mad. A tissue hay fever, a tissue hay fever. It's coming out nice. So, and once you've done that, you'll just see the cloth's just gliding over it now. So that's got a nice protection on there now. Just finishes it off nicely. Gives you that peace of mind. So, I label all of mine. So this is number 2, and that's where the square of the chair sits on. So I need the back bit facing this way. So we turn it back upside down now. And I have chair number 2. So on the chair, as you see, I've labelled it number 2 as well on here. So we just put it on carefully. Then you want to get it back exactly the same place. And then you know you've got it when you can see the screw holes in there. You see the screw hole there? Just can't see it here. That's because it's not in. That's why. So now that's pushed right in. And we need the screws. There they are. So, magnetic tray, auto cheap auto, something like that. You can probably pick them up in Bunnings, but that was a piece of plastic kept falling off the tray. But your screws and everything holds to it. You're not going to lose any screws at the grade. Never lost a screw. See, everything sticks. So, here we go. Now just lightly put them in and I'll give them a turn to make sure they're in the hole. Yep, that's it. Just 4 screws on the bottom. Sometimes the screws actually come in the side here, so behind here you'll see a little drill hole and you'll see a screw in there, and that's how you get them off. But it just gives you so much of a neat edge taking these off. That's how I'll do there. Yep, that's in there. So get your drill, make sure it's going the right way, that's anti-clockwise. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. And there we have it. Chair with the table. So this is a customer's piece, it's an extendable table, and we've done the inside as well. I'll put some pictures up, but hey, that's come up great, from pine to divine. Take a closer look. Wow, wowsy. I like that. And oh, 5 more chairs to go. But that's the easy part, putting it back together. That's when you know you're finished. But that table is absolutely gorgeous. Nice set when it's all done up. Keep watching till the end. Thanks.